Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team with Goodwood F1 Racing. Tonight it is round 9. We are heading to Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. And as the title suggests, I have absolutely no idea what our pace is going to be like here. I thought our pace was going to be terrible last night, and I put in the worst engines we had as a result. And we actually ended up pretty competitive. Yet we come to a completely different circuit the circuit with completely different characteristics tonight. Our pace on paper is still appalling. Despite the fact that both cars are now running the upgraded components. So there you can see they're both running the same parts. Performance levels are the same. They're just really bad. Really bad. And yet, who knows? If it's anything like Monaco last night, we'll actually have better pace than our car suggests on paper. And on top of that, we have a dry race, potentially a hot race, so that means we're probably going to be leaning towards a 2-stop. Are we going to have an advantage over 1-stoppers? Maybe. I just don't know. The DRS will be active, but our DRS is not great, so I just don't know what to expect tonight. I think it could go either way. We could be actually a decent running tonight, maybe top 14 if we're lucky, or it could be a disaster and we could be right at the back of the grid, scrapping with Joe and Sargent, and that's it. You know, fighting over 20th. So I have absolutely no idea what to expect pace-wise for tonight. It's going to be an experience. Let's set some targets. Porsche is the better of the pair. Let's have a look at 18th for Porsche. And let's go. Do I want to risk 18th for Lawson? I really don't know whether to go 18th or 20th here with Lawson. Screw it. We're going to go big with Lawson as well. We'll go for the maximum possible reward, a little over 700 grand. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. And let's head to Canada.
Formula One has arrived here in Quebec, and we're excited to get underway. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium. And with that, I think it's time to get started.
It's time to get started. Cut to 5 seconds of just looking at the long back straight. Okay. Let's see then. So I put the worn out parts back into the car ready for practice, so we don't have to worry about that yet. Let's get some setups on the car. Let me take another quick look at the circuit info. Low and medium speed is kind of really essential. There's not a lot of corners that actually have a speed requirement, as you can see. We've got the chicane, which is low speed, the hairpin, which bizarrely is medium speed, Don't know why. It should be low speed. We've got the Wall of Champion chicane there, which is medium, a little bit of high in the middle, and then medium on the exit. Medium at turn 1, high speed at turn 2, and then a couple of little medium turns through the first sector as well. Everything else is pretty much flat out, so I think the downforce is going to be important. I think we're going to be looking at a 12.5, 13 rear wing. Maybe a 12 rear wing. It's a short lap, so I'm going to go with 21 laps of fuel. Let's see. Let's go with a 12. Let's go with a 6.5. Let's go with a 3.7. Let's go something like that for our first setup. And then if we go over to Lawson, we'll do something a little different. Go. How you doing, Dino? All right then, let's send them out.
Can you understand me, okay?
Copy, radio check.
Okay, copy.
Hello, mate. Can you hear me?
There we go. So I've been lost in the weeds of creating new things today. Let me just get Porsche out of the way. There we go. I have gone back in and I've made some tweaks and changes to the BMW setup that I showed off last night. I've actually used this particular livery style as the template, and then just tweaked the colours a bit. And that's the one I think that I'm probably most happy with. So I've gone with metallic red pinstriping. So where on our car we've got yellow pinstriping, yellowy, orangey, goldy colour striping, it's red, but metallic red. On a not quite white car, it's about 10 points lower down than pure white. So it's a little bit darker as the base coat. And then the purple has been replaced with a fade from, again, metallic darker blue into a sort of a turquoisey lighter blue. And then I've got sponsors and stuff on the car now. That's all set. Plus the BMW badging. And I've reworked the race suits as well. And I ended up going with very, very dark race suits with the striping down the side. So instead of having the white suits with the colour fade on the side, I went with almost black instead. And I'm pretty happy with that. And then I sat down earlier and I tried to make the Mitsubishi logo and nothing was lining up properly. So I just kind of abandoned that and I built a Bentley badge, which I'll show you later. So I may have to create a Bentley team at some point just to see what that looks like. I need to work on a livery for the Bentley. I've got some ideas in my head, but I don't know what that'll be just yet. How you doing, Wayne? Good to see you. First bit of feedback about to drop. Let's have a look which way is the right way. Well, it's not Lawson's. 7%. Oh my god, that is appalling. We've got just about everything wrong that we could possibly ever get wrong. 7%, that's terrible.
Give me a minute.
67% for Porsche. That's an okay starting point.
Copy, copy.
But, ouch, only 7%. That's pretty horrendous. All right. So I've gone way too high on the rear wing. All right, let's go with an 11. Let's pull that front wing right down as well. Should we go to 11.5? Push that up to, say, a 2.5 for now. Gone the wrong way with the roll bar. Let's go all the way to a 1.9. And I guess we'll do something like that. It'll be an improvement. It's just a question of how much of an improvement. Probably gone way too far on the roll bar in the opposite direction there, but we'll see. I'd have been closer on neutral. Yeah, probably, if I'd left it alone. So let's go to an 11.5 there. Let's go to a 4.5. Push that up to a 1.9. Let's tweak that back that way. And, you know, I'm kind of happy with that. Maybe just that little extra tweak. Let's go with that. Let's give that a try. Evening, my mate. Well, let's hope that we've got really close with Lawson. It cannot get any worse than 7%. That is appalling. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you. I really hope we can actually get a good result tonight. I hope we can get at least 17th and 18th, so that I can get the maximum money from the sponsors. I need money. I can't really do anything else for the team at the moment. I just do not have any cash. There we go. We've gone from 7% to 79%. That's a massive improvement there. How you doing, Evans? Every creator seems to have Porsche on their startup. Well, yeah, I mean, he's a very, very highly rated young talent. He's finally got a head model. I've gone for Porsche and Lawson just simply because, as I say, they have head models. The annoying thing is, I kind of felt tied into having. I wasn't initially going to go with Porsche. I was going to go with Lawson and Schumacher, but because for whatever reason they've put caps on Lawson and Porsche, and when they haven't done that for any other driver, it looks weird with one of them having a cap and the other one not, which is why I went for those two. Yeah. I say initially I wasn't going to pick Porsche. I was going to go say Lawson and Schumacher because I figured two young reserves, well, two youngish drivers, one slightly, more established, but both crying out for an opportunity on the grid. Porsche is still young. He's driving an IndyCar at the moment. So that's why. It's,
You happy with the car? Yeah, copy.
it's a weird decision that they put caps on them this year. And they didn't bother doing that for any other drivers. I don't know why they just. I don't know if they ran out of time and didn't have the time, or were just too lazy to actually create digital hairstyles. But it is what it is. Why don't I upload the live videos to YouTube? I don't understand. I mean, are you talking about the replays of my YouTube live streams? They're on the channel. They're there. You just have to look on the live tab, and they're all there. Or you can go to my playlists, and they're all there. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people go with Behrman. I wanted both of my drivers to have a head model, and that's to say because one had a cap, and I wanted them both to have the same kind of look for the team. That'll change as we progress as a team. I'm not going to be sticking with these two all the way through.
Yeah, okay, copy.
Right, first session is over. Very, very close here with Porsche, 96%. Which way do I want to go? Go that way. Push that back that way. So let's go with 28 laps on the mediums. A bit more work needed here, so that is going to be a 2.8, and then that needs to come back a bit more. Go with that. See how that works. Yeah, we'll go with 28 laps of fuel. And we'll send them out. Evening, Clark. Evening, Refill. How you doing?
Green, green.
Copy. Copy.
Lewis's helmet in the Ferrari looks horrible. It'll be one of the two sort of reserve helmets. One is kind of reminiscent of Leclerc's older style helmet, where it's red with like a little bit of a white banding. And the other one, I think, has a bit of black and yellow in there as well. which is not a nice one. After the summer break, will I be fighting for points? Oh, I really hope so, but I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Am I feeling optimistic about the future of my team? Long term, yes. Short term, no. I have learned a lot just by replaying the opening rounds with different custom teams at different development rates as well. So that knowledge will carry across into our next season, assuming we don't get fired this year. I'm not expecting us to do much at all of anything really this year, but other than lay down the groundwork for hopefully a good step forward next season.
Happy with that.
Give me some feedback, please.
97. I gained 1%, and I actually lost 1% with Lawson. Ay, ay, ay. All right, I'm going to call him in early. Okay. I think I've gone too far the wrong way that way. Is that what we were on a minute ago in the previous session? No, because we had a different front wing angle, I think. Let's try that. How bad can the engines get before you can't use them anymore? 1%. You know, I mean, you can use them as long as you want. It's just they will slowly drop power. The amount of power will change depending on the manufacturer that you're using. But you won't lose a huge amount of pace with the engine. The gearbox is the real killer. When the gearbox starts to go, that's going to kill your pace more than a dodgy engine. You can have an engine at 5% and a gearbox at 50, and you'll have better pace than a gearbox at, say, 10% and an engine at 30%. You know, the gearbox will destroy your pace more than any other part on the car. Right, okay, so that needs to go over there. Can't go too hard that way because I've got to pull all that all the way back and I can't break everything else. So I'm going to have to go with something like that. Maybe pull the front wing. Let's try that. Let's see how that works. Obviously, the big thing with this year is that, you know, the more worn your part gets now, the more likely you are to have a fault develop. So I would say when your engine gets down to about 30%, it's probably worth swapping them out for a practice engine. Yeah, making that a practice engine and swapping out for a newer one. But I mean, we ran 30-something% engines at Monaco last night, and we actually nearly got points. So, you know, it's as I say, it's not a real pace killer. As long as you're careful with them, you know, you can run a worn engine and not develop a fault. We didn't get any faults with our engines last night, despite them being pretty beaten up. I mean, let's see. Porsche Airs is currently at 27%. Yeah, we were in the low 30s when we put them in the car last night. 33%, something like that. The engine will not get damaged. There's a chance. I mean, look at it this way. With those tyres, once they go below 30%, your chance of a puncture is there. So you could go all the way down to like 2-3% on those tyres and still keep going. You'd be slow, but you could keep going. Or you could hit 29% and puncture just like that. I've seen punctures go at that point. It's the same with faults. A fault can develop at any point, but the more worn the engine is, the higher the risk of a fault occurring. So you can see here, this engine is in yellow condition at 26%. The risk of a fault happening is moderate. It's caused by the condition of the engine. So at any point, my engine could develop a fault just because of its current condition. My gearbox has a fault. It's unfixable.
Copy.
It's caused by condition, but it's also caused by hitting the curbs and running the engine hot as well. Same with the engine itself, and to a degree, I think the ERS. So one of the ways you can alleviate the risk of a fault actually occurring is by driving in clean air, not hitting, avoiding high risk curbs, not pushing the engine hard, so not having it in the highest fuel setting, and just try and keep the temperature in the white range. So you can see the red dot on Lawson on the car that's flashing on the bottom right corner means that I have a high risk chance of a fault occurring on the powertrain, and that is probably the gearbox that's giving me that warning. '97 and '96. It's going to be one of those sessions, isn't it, where it's so fiddly trying to find that last little bit.
Yeah, copy.
Right, on to the Saturday final practice. Temperature will be a bit higher today. I'm going to try that. Just kind of trying to find that last little bit. And that's an easy one. There we go. Why didn't I choose Behrman over Lawson? I already explained, you know, no head model, and I wanted to have a head model, and you know, I went with Porsche and Lawson as a combination because they both wear the caps that they put on the drivers this year for some reason, and only those two. Very odd why they put them with caps, but. When I saw the headshots they showed off a few months ago on the Frontier Unlocked live stream, I thought, okay, yeah, because they had caps on there, and I just figured that was just a default thing, and that the caps wouldn't be there when they actually released the game. And nope, they are still there. And what's even worse is the caps are just this dull grey, dark grey colour that doesn't match the team colour. It doesn't, you know, track with the colour of your team or your uniform. It just stays the same no matter what. I'm all for them having caps if you can put, you know, logos and stuff on them, you know, match up the colours. Or even just change the colour of the cap. But yeah, it feels a strange decision to give them caps when they didn't do that for any of the other drivers, and it feels a little lazy in the way that they've been implemented. Didn't quite catch the drivers in time. We need to do another couple of laps just to get that last little bit of feedback. Oh, there we go. We got it with Porsche. Excellent. I didn't realise we'd actually got it. It's just Lawson who needs an extra lap or two. And there it is. And there's the 100. So then, both of our drivers will go into the weekend with the best possible confidence that we can give them. Whether they can keep that confidence, that's another matter. As always, we will probably be able to out-qualify the car. But we will probably go backwards a little bit in the race. Get caught in that vicious cycle. Or vicious circle of we get overtaken, so the confidence drops, so the pace drops, so we get overtaken, so the confidence drops, so the pace drops, so we then get overtaken again. And it's horrible when that just starts, that sort of flywheel mechanism just starts spinning in the wrong direction like that. What's my prediction for this Grand Prix? Max will win, and you know, it'll be an interesting fight for second through fifth between the McLarens. Well, second through sixth between the McLarens, the Ferraris, and Perez. and they'll be comfortably ahead of everybody else. And I have no idea where we're going to end up. Towards the back somewhere, but how far back is the question. I really, really want to be able to finish with both cars 18th and above. So 17th and 18th would be fine. Just so that I can get the maximum reward from the sponsors. All right, let's get ready for quali.
We're moving on now to the all-important qualifying session.
The circuit Gilles Villeneuve isn't a permanent track, so circuit evolution is high over the Grand Prix weekend. Overtaking is possible, but getting a well-timed lap in qualifying will help any driver.
Esteban Ocon there, Karun. What's the feeling around him at the moment?
They weren't as quick as I expected them to be in practice. They'll want to land better lap times than that today to earn a solid position on the starting grid.
And you're right. Well, it's nearly time for qualifying.
All right, let's put those better parts in now. So 84% engine. The ERS will be fine. We'll go with the 77 gearbox. And same for Lawson. 85% engine. ERS should be fine. And a 78 gearbox. There we go. Right. First runs.
Green.
Going to do the first run without slipstreams, just to get a baseline on the pace difference between the drivers. And then we'll probably be slipstreaming from that point on. Possibly, I don't know, we'll see. You don't think there's another YouTuber who's as detailed as I am on the game? Everyone just breezes through. Yeah, I like to do the practice sessions. I like to go through the setup because I always want to have the best possible setup, and I like the way I can also kind of show how just by starting with guesses, it's once you understand how the setup minigame works, it's not too difficult to hit 100% with at least one of the cars. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky with both of them, but you know, once you understand how they interact with each other, how the sliders will move multiple parts in certain directions, and how much they move by, and the kind of movement that is needed based on how far away it says you are, it's relatively easy to get at least very, very close, if not bang on every time. And by running the practice sessions like this, you get to see in real time me figuring these setups out.
Temperatures are okay for now. Clear ahead. Not push.
And in terms of presenting the race, I like to try and present it like it's a race event. You know, like how you would see it on the TV. You know, if you're watching a live race, you would get the build-up, you'd get, you know, the qualifying. Obviously, they'd be separate broadcasts, but you get like you get the build-up pre-race, and then you get the race run. You know, obviously running it real time, and then you get like a little post-analysis. We mix things up a little bit. We kind of speed through practice in terms of the running itself, just because, you know, it's only practice. But it gives us an opportunity to talk about any news that's out there. Porsche complaining about being impeded. Let's see if he repeats that all the way through the lap. Shouldn't do now with the patch. And we're qualifying, you know, we run our laps at normal time, but we kind of whiz through little bits in between. And then, let's say, the races always run them at normal time, like a genuine Formula One broadcast. To me, it just That's the way I like to present it. All right, so, Porsche was actually on a flying, wasn't he? So 112.7. What did Lawson do? 0.3 slower. Where was that time lost? Let's do it this way. Let me pause so I can see the splits before they change. A tenth in the first sector, half a tenth in the middle, and a couple of tenths in the final sector. Okay. Long way down on Charles Leclerc's time, though. He's absolutely blitzing it compared to us. Yeah. Ooh, 1.6 seconds slower with Porsche. As good as 2 seconds slower with Lawson. Ouch. You love the logo. It's so creative. Are you talking about my team logo? Can't actually show it now, can I? It's actually based on a real world logo. So I went with Goodwood, based around the Goodwood Festival of Speed. There's also a Goodwood Road and Racing Club. And that is basically the logo that I've lifted and tried to recreate as best I can. So instead of it just saying Goodwood Road and Racing Club, it just says Goodwood F1 Racing around the side instead. But yeah, I say it is based on a genuine real world logo for Goodwood. All right, so same tires, and we'll go with a slipstream run. We'll wait for some of the traffic to go through. Evening, John. So who is on an outlap and where are they? There's Ocon. And is that Stroll behind him? Oh, no, Stroll's a bit further back. So that's Alonso on an in-lap then behind Ocon. Where is... That was a long way off. Yeah, Alonso's in the pits. Ocon has gone through across the line to start his lap now. There he is. And Stroll is on the way. All right, let's send them out. We've got someone coming out behind us. Who is that? Oh, it's one of the Alpha Tauris. They're both coming out.
Work as much as you can on brakes and tires.
Copy.
Right. Am I ignoring you? I've answered pretty much every question you said so far. Is that Joe on a cooldown? It is. So Joe's heading back to the pits. He's not going to get in our way.
Temperatures are looking okay. Let's get going.
hopefully we're not going to have any issues with traffic. Is that McLaren on a flyer? No, it's not. It's Piastri on an outlap and Sainz on an outlap as well. So we will catch up to them. It's now going to be a question of where we catch up to them. No improvement for either driver in the first sector. That is a little worrying. Lawson again down 3/10 in the opening sector compared to Porsche. Down another 10th. Why are we not finding any improvement here? We should be finding something. Alright, up the line. Slightly improved final sector. We're 8th and 9th at the moment. Gap is still 3/10 though, so no overall improvement for either.
Copy.
And we've got a yellow flag. Someone's had a whoopsie. It's Bottas.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
it's
sorry.
Lawson. I thought it was Bottas.
Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. And nearly, just running
It's
wide.
just,
And they might want to take a look
cutting
at
the grass a
floor of
little
the
bit
car.
there. Alright. Those tyres will not get us any improvement if we go with them again. So it's a new set of tyres. And we get out of the session. We're still waiting, quite a few to set a time actually. And there they all go through, and we are only quicker than the Alpines right now. We are quite a way off Zhou and Bottas, which is a little worrying. There we go. Time to start prepping our final run. I see that we still have that incredibly slow exit from the pits
Copy.
from the last two versions of the game. I don't remember it being quite so pronounced in 22, but 23 it was really, really bad, and it's still really bad now. What car parts do I usually develop? Usually all of them. The order depends on where the car is lacking most. This car was lacking everything. So,
Temperature's looking.
um,
Okay, let's go.
I think I still have suspensions to go on the car. But apart from that, I've got everything else on there now, I think. Still no improvement from Porsche. Oh boy, what is going on? Oh, Lawson, this is brand new tyres. Why are we not improving? The grip's gone up. The amount of rubber on track's gone up significantly. Maybe the temperature's just gone up a little bit, but I mean, there we go. Slightly quicker middle sector there. Vegas is one of the worst. Yeah, I'm hoping Vegas has been improved, but I doubt it. 21st. Lawson doesn't improve. We are slow. We are really slow. Scary slow. I've been beating up Joe a lot recently in scrapping with Bottas, who's normally a little bit further ahead. Lawson is 6/10 slower than Joe. 6/10. Oh God, that's awful. I really don't know what to do now. We're out in first session, and I don't know whether or not 2 stop, 3 stop, or try 1 stop. See who qualified on pole. Carlos Sainz. Wow. By a couple of tenths. Ahead of Max. Then it's the 2 McLarens blocking out row 2. Perez and Leclerc on row 3. Then it's Alonso, Hamilton, Russell and Stroll to fill out the rest of the top 10. Then we have Tsunoda and Ricciardo in 11th and 12th, ahead of Albon, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Sargent, the 2 Saubers of Zhou and Valtteri Bottas, the 2 Alpines of Gasly and Ocon, and the 2 Goodwood cars of Porsche and Lawson.
"70 laps of the Canadian Grand Prix await our drivers here in Montreal."
Named after the legendary Canadian driver, the circuit Gilles Villeneuve has been host to plenty of first-time winners. Jean Alesi, Lewis Hamilton, Robert Kubica and Daniel Ricciardo all got their maiden victories here.
With a flat-out section of over 1 kilometre in Sector 3, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is a track that asks, who dares brake last? And that means it's tough on tyres and brake temperatures the whole way round. Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
Yeah, I am concerned at just how slow we are. I'm guessing the rest of the grid has put brand new engines in. It's the only thing I can think of as to why we would suddenly be so far off the pace. Let's have a look at strategies. So, the driver suggested strategy would appear to be that one, which I do not like at all. It's also the same pace as the one that Porsche has currently got selected. If I was going to go with something like that, I would want to get off the softs very early. Go for a bit of an undercut. Right, let's have a play about. Let's go with a set of softs at the start. Let's clear those off. Let's go with a set of mediums and another set of softs. Let's see. Oops. That looks to be the best option for Porsche. Lawson's tyre wear not quite so good. Let's look at something a little bit more conservative. Let's go with that. I'm going to take 3 laps of fuel out tonight. Because given how slow I am, pretty sure I'm going to get lapped at least once, probably twice, and then that gives me a lap to play about with. You know, I'll have to save a lap, but I'll do that during the race. If we get a safety car, claw that back. We're looking at about 1.4 kilos of fuel for a lap's worth of fuel. Let's leave the strategies like that in terms of tyre push, etc. And let's send them to the grid.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. A lot of people will be keen to see just how Zhou Guanyu will fare today.
They sit in 17th, and let's be honest, no one wants to be at the back of the pack. But can they impress us here?
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. This is it. We're moments away now at the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay.
Alright, so got a chance to get past Gasly. Haven't quite locked it out yet. And there we go. Move complete. Canadian Grand Prix, isn't it a one-stop? In reality, yes, in the game, more often than not, at least in the early couple of seasons, it's a two-stop. You know, once the cars have improved and drivers have got a little bit better, and I'm not just talking myself, I'm talking the rest of the grid as well, then it becomes a one-stop. But yeah, first season or two, it's usually a two-stop for a good chunk of teams. So DRS is active. Of course, that is the big change this season over last. DRS now kicks in after just one lap rather than two.
Copy. Copy.
The view from the very back of the grid, and we are out of DRS range at the moment, which is not good. It means that Lawson's going to potentially get dropped quite badly here. Hopefully he'll be able to catch back up again. Teo's having a little look at the back of Esteban. trying to go around the outside. And we've got ahead, but in doing so, we've given up the DRS for this sector. And we still didn't complete the move either.
You can recover it, okay? Come on.
Right, looks like we've managed to drop Gasly, so Lawson should hopefully be able to catch him up now. And I'm out of battery with Porsche.
Copy. Copy.
A little bit left with Liam, but not much. And Gasly's pushed to get back into the train. Damn it. And that is me out of battery with Lawson now.
Copy.
I didn't get back in range in time, so yeah, he does run the risk of being left behind.
Copy, copy.
Let's take a look at tyres. So almost everybody on soft. We've got Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Hamilton, Perez and Sainz on the mediums, Alonso on the hards. Interesting. Some of the drivers will go for a one-stop tonight, I think, but I think we'll see quite a few going for a two-stop. Especially those whose tyres soft tyres are worse than us, which is most of them. The ones like Valtteri, who are down to 81% already, they're pushing their softs a bit, so they will have to box a little earlier than us. Porsche is out of range. I'm going to get hit with DRS, I think. Protection points right after the chicane. Managed to hold the position. There goes the rear wing flap, and that will be an easy pass for Gasly.
Copy, copy.
I'm not bothered by that. I'm fine with that. It gives me a chance to bring Lawson back into range by using Porsche as a bridge between Gasly and Lawson. So don't get dropped.
Copy, copy.
And I just got dropped. Fuck. Alright, well, if I can get him on onto the back of Porsche, I can then push Porsche to close the gap back up.
Copy,
And
copy.
there we go. Closed up.
Copy.
Now I'm 2 seconds off. So time to push.
Okay, copy, good. Copy.
Still have good confidence with Liam. Very good confidence, actually.
Copy. Copy, copy. Copy. Copy that.
And there we go. I've brought Lawson back into range of Gasly.
Copy, copy. Copy, copy.
So now I need to sit and charge up for a lap or two so I can punch past him and try and get onto the back of Ocon. Look at the gap that's opening up at the front. Sainz and Verstappen are already 4.5 seconds ahead of Norris, and then there's a big gap from Piastri back to Ricciardo.
Copy that.
Perez gets past Norris, moves up into third place. It's depressing being back at the very back of the grid again. Been making some forward progress, and that's all gone away. Let's have a little dig into the rest of the field. So Leclerc's still running an old engine. Sainz running a pretty good engine. Brand new engines for Piastri tonight and Norris. Oh, yellow flag.
Copy.
Oh, it's Lawson.
Yeah, no, sorry.
At least he didn't kill all of his confidence.
Everything's all right here. And round they spin. And that won't do anything to help those tyres.
Kept it out the barrier.
Copy.
And didn't cost him too much in terms of tyre wear either. So, yeah, it could have been worse.
I know, man. Just keep it cool.
Copy.
Right, let's go for the overtake. Try and punch our way through. See if we can close it to the back of the field in front of us.
Good job.
Evening, Army. While we're pushing, let's go back to checking out cars. So newish engine for Russell, new engine for Hamilton, new ERS unit there for Gasly. So Williams are running a brand new powertrain. Sargent isn't, but he's got a new gearbox. Magnussen's got a newish engine. New ERS for Ricciardo. Tsunoda, they're too quick for us. Valtteri Bottas running a newish engine, as is Zhou. So it's not what I was expecting. I mean, yeah, some guys have changed out their powertrains, but the pace deficit isn't down to that. It's just, I think it's down to upgrades.
Copy.
It's going to be a long afternoon if we want to have any hope of getting 17th and 18th tonight. We are going to be relying on a safety car, maybe a couple of retirements, a few things to help us out, I think. Let's take a look at tyre wear.
Okay.
If the text box gets out of the way, there we go. So we've actually got a very healthy tyre advantage at the moment. Not really translating into pace. But we are staying in the train. The new update really makes the AI design new car parts more effectively. Yeah. I hadn't seen them just constantly spew out the same parts, but reading the patch notes, it seemed to indicate that they would keep making the same parts over and over again.
Copy that. Copy.
Just about got back in range with Lawson. Not got the DRS this lap. Share dropping off again. Yeah, I don't know where all of our pace has gone tonight. Well, having said that, this is the fastest circuit we've been to for a while, so it doesn't surprise me considering our speed is terrible and our acceleration is terrible and our DRS is terrible, all of which are very important around this particular track. It doesn't surprise me that we're slow. I just didn't think we'd be this slow.
Copy. Okay, copy. Copy.
Dropping off the back. Everyone's staying in the train of cars that are quicker than us. Well, we're not closing in on anyone. Oh, I've got ahead of Gasly. Let's see if I can break away from him.
Copy.
Kind of got to get back on the train, haven't I?
Copy, copy. Okay.
Uh, 2 seconds away from Joe. Gap is coming down, but I am almost out of battery. Can't really close up to him too much more. How much have I got left in tyres? Oh, I've still got a fair bit left to play with. Just as well.
I think we need to start getting a little bit quicker.
Copy.
Joe's dropped off the pack. He's isolated and vulnerable.
Copy, copy.
Try to save a bit rear here.
Copy.
And we got our first pit stop. George in for a set of mediums. Sergeant coming in as well. Luckily, we come out behind George, so we won't lose confidence for being immediately overtaken. Oh, no, we overtook him. Yeah, ignore that.
Copy.
Best laid plans and all that. Right, we're going to start seeing movement from everyone else, so I need to start trying to claw back some confidence here. We're making some gains. Should get Joe here.
You're looking strong out there, mate.
Side by side past the wall of champions. The RS is open and we are pushing through, although you wouldn't really
You're doing great.
know it from how little extra pace we had there.
Currently 3.7 gap.
Copy.
And Gaston's boxed. He's got mediums. Ocon has gone hards. And Bottas has gone mediums.
A bit more pace, mate.
Copy.
Right, here comes Ricardo.
Okay, copy, copy.
And he will get out in front of Porsche. No, behind Porsche. Oh, actually. Yeah, just behind Porsche. That's not good. It means Porsche is about to get overtaken and lose confidence. But he's comfortably ahead of Lawson. Trying to close in on Magnussen as Max boxes from the lead. That's a quick stop. That's a very quick stop. Just can't seem to get close to Magnussen at the moment. I've got Danny Rick bearing down on me. Lawson's gunning it, so he's probably going to box this lap. Just Hamilton's in. And there is Zhou going into the pits. For another set of softs. We have got Hamilton just in front of us, Ricciardo right behind us, and there's George as well. This could get very messy here. We could be about to lose 2 places in very, very short order. Hopefully we can get past Magnussen before he boxes though, which is probably going to be this lap, so unlikely. Yeah, there he goes into the box, denies us the opportunity to get some extra confidence before we stop. Bastard. Albon's in as well, and now Hamilton's dropped us, so oh, there goes Ricciardo. I was going to say we're about to get overtaken by Ricciardo by the next DRS zone, and he dive bombed us before we'd even got through turn 2.
Copy.
He's off and away. Can we stay with him at least through the first sector? We can, but it's not going to stop George from having a look anyway. He's got a better car. He's also got a bit of a slipstream. And that just gets him through. So, down to 14th. And that's 2 quick overtakes. Big chunk of confidence just gone. Lawson has got Valtteri just behind and closing in fast.
Copy.
Try and hold him back if we can. Hulkenberg's in.
Copy.
I'm going to box Lawson next lap. Or the end of the lap's about to start. I might do the same with Porsche. What's the gap? Big enough. And there goes Valtteri. And now the Williams are going to jump me as well. It's where we start to just bleed confidence. Going to bleed our pace for the next stint.
Copy.
Having to box earlier than I wanted to just to avoid getting absolutely done over by the cars behind us. Having to burn my battery as well, which again I didn't want to do, as Ocon punches his way through.
Come on, mate.
Copy.
Don't think it will count that as an overtake, even though I got ahead of him. Just Oh God, the leaders are coming through. I'm about to get lapped by Sainz. 2.5. That could be worth some points at the end of the race. There goes Sainz. Leclerc dives into the pits. Losing time. All right, let's box Porsche now.
Okay, box.
Copy, box. Pitting.
All right, not a bad stop. 2.8. I say not a bad stop. It's not a great stop, but it's mistake free and it's kind of on par with what we've been doing so far this season, unfortunately. So, yeah, not too bad. We've come out in front of one of the Alpines, and we're about to get lapped. Great. So we're going to give up the DRS. The Alpine might have it. Hopefully he doesn't. Can we block him? No.
Yeah, copy.
Shit. Oh, we've lost even more confidence.
Yeah, no stress.
And there's a really nasty little judder when the camera comes around that corner. I don't know why. It's really annoying me. Well, I'm not quite as talkative tonight as I am normally because I'm very tired. I haven't been sleeping a lot these last couple of days just because of the heat, and it's catching up with me right now. I think I got about 4 hours last night. Been up since 6 o'clock this morning. Started the flag.
Pressure's on them. Okay.
Oh, yellow flag. What was that? Oh, a lockup for
Let's
Alonso.
have a look at that. Let's have a look at the action. It's all at the final corner. The wheels just lock up there. By that
Oh, yeah,
point,
straight
it
on
was
there.
just too late.
All right, let's...
Easy, mate. Easy.
I know I'm supposed to be pushing these tyres, aren't I? All right, well, let's save a little bit of battery in the process.
So let's pick up the pace.
How far off the rest of the field we are. But we're out of sequence, in a way, with the rest of the field. They all stopped a fair few laps earlier than us, so they can see the tyre wear situation. Gasly's tyres, and we're pushing our tyres, have been since we came out the pits, are 20% worse than ours. We got pushed wide, and yet it said that Lawson got pushed wide by nobody. Still some bugs then in the commentary, not commentary, the messages from the engineers. I'm going to try and break through now. Get a little bit of confidence back into Teo. It will only be a little bit, unfortunately. Might be enough to get him into medium. No. It's tiny. We get more confidence for doing a personal best sector than we do for actually overtaking someone at the moment. That's ridiculous. Now we're into medium as we set a new personal best. And let's see if we can break away. Try and get onto the back of the Ferrari and then just stay with the Ferrari. That will help us immensely. Sainz still yet to stop. And yet he's still lapping quicker than most of the cars in front of us. So Sainz is probably going for the one stop.
Copy. Copy.
What's Liam doing? He's not. Evening, Lee. What's my thoughts on the game overall so far? You had 22, which you loved, didn't get 23, but now thinking whether to buy 24 or try and get 23 cheap. Get 24. There are improvements from 23. From 22 to 23, there are some improvements, but not a great deal of improvements. It's a tightening up of things in some things. Some little bits of improvement here and there, but there's a much bigger jump between 23 and 24 than there is between 22 and 23. Plus, you can create your own team in 24, as you can see by the fact that we're running our own team right now. So you'll have more options with 24. It's got a whole reworked mentality system as well to replace the kind of pointless morale system from the last couple of games. Last time out they introduced driver confidence. That hasn't really changed, but it is now also affected a little bit, or at least the stats are also affected by how your driver's feeling in mentality, in the mentality hub. Contracts have been changed, so you can now have your staff and drivers poached by other teams. Sponsors have changed dramatically. Yeah, it's a massive step from 23 to 24, and it's a pretty cheap game by comparison as well. Full price, the deluxe edition of this is now £40. Now it's gone live. The PlayStation Plus 10% pre-order discount doesn't apply anymore, but it was like £55 for the deluxe edition last year, so it's cheaper. And you don't really need the digital deluxe version, but it does give you some extra options for custom liveries with some classically inspired presets. As well as some exclusive scenarios as well. Right, let's have a look at pace. We're doing 118s at the moment. Lawson's pace actually pretty good. Better than Porsche's. Mind you, I haven't said that. Porsche, yeah, his confidence is not great, so that'll be why. I think I can probably push Lawson a bit now. Keep getting blue flagged, which is the problem at the moment. Can't really make any progress because getting pulled over to let the leaders through. As Max has gone through. Still 10 seconds or 9 seconds off the back of Joe. I can't see us getting either car into 18th at this rate. Alright, 1:16.9. Took some time out of Gasly, but I'm about to lose all of that time as I get blue flagged for Norris. And Sainz, who is just around the corner as well. There he is. We'll at least get some DRS here off the back of Norris.
Copy.
And I'm running in clean air at the moment. I've got no one in front of me and no one behind me, and I'm still not lapping quick enough with Teo. There we go. I managed to pull out, what, 6/10 over Joe
Copy.
on that last lap. Still not quick enough though. And the Ferrari has gone through now. So I've got a little gap now until the next car comes through. And I've got a chance here to get straight onto Gasly now. Gasly will have the DRS himself. I don't know if we got it in time. Got Piastri, Perez and Leclerc all closing in very fast. I didn't get the DRS.
Copy.
Oh, Bottas is up to 13th place now. And is getting blue flag for Norris. There he goes. Means Sainz isn't too far behind. There's Sainz.
Copy, copy.
Let's see if we can get some DRS off him if we're lucky. Nope. We gave it to Sainz. Bugger.
Copy.
Still a long way to go in this race as well. We're almost at half distance. And just still no sign of any real kind of pace, unfortunately.
Copy.
So I'm down 1 lap. It was what, 1.4, 1.5 kilos of fuel for a lap? Did we say 1.4? So that puts us on 1.9 kilos under. Alright, we've caught Gasly at just the right time for us to try and punch past before we get lapped or blue flagged by that little group of 3.
Copy. Copy.
Let's see what happened there. Now we're watching the action closely here. It's certainly inviting.
Got him before the Wall of Champions. Always nice. Oh, and let me show you the new Williams wheel. There it is. Introduced with the patch. And now we're getting blue flagged. Right, at least get DRS off the back of this little group. Stay out the clutches of Gasly. Gasly's going to get it off the back of us, maybe. No, he's too far back. And we are getting the DRS, which is nice. Ocon has developed a fault.
Yeah, copy. Deployment.
That's an ERS issue. I wonder if it's temporary or not. Once again, I'm closing on Joe, but I'm just losing time. Joe's just been lapped and we've clawed back a couple of seconds that we'd lost, and we're about to get blue flagged by another couple of cars as well. There's Perez. There's Piastri and Leclerc just behind him.
Copy, copy.
Evening, Jacob.
Copy.
And once again, we give up the DRS to Perez, don't get it ourselves. And that's going to drop Lawson quite oh, wow. Oh, and Lawson's in don't overtake mode. Oh, this is terrible. Turn that off quickly. Oh, shit. Well, that's just gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Copy.
You started a Nissan save. Yeah, I've been looking at designing some badges for other teams. I've created the Alfa Romeo logo. Put Alfa Romeo back on the grid should I feel like it. I've created a Bentley logo, and I'm going to be working on a livery for a Bentley car after the stream. Unless you guys want to see me try and build the Bentley logo once this race is done, in which case we'll extend the stream just a little bit to build the Bentley. So Hulkenberg and Sargent are in for their second stops. Magnussen for his second stop as well, just before he gets lapped. You're going to try for Racing Point. Racing Point was never really a team. It was always a temporary name. The only reason they became Racing Point for the interim they did was because they had to create a new name once they bought out Force India. You know, they couldn't stay as the same team. It was a new entity, and the plan was always to put the Aston Martin badge on.
4 seconds now. Yeah, no worries, mate.
I don't even remember what their logo looked like.
Copy that.
I could not tell you what it looked like. Right, we're ahead of Sargent, but he's on brand new tyres, so he's going to be quicker than us. The new fastest lap for Carlos Sainz there. For some reason, Teo Porsche didn't get the DRS on the back of Gasly. I don't know why. And Gasly boxes. And now we're going to be vulnerable to Sargent. We still have a little way to go until we stop. I've actually got quite a bit of rubber to spare, so let's start pushing
Copy.
a little bit more. See how long I can keep Logan behind me. Probably not long enough. I think he's just got me there, hasn't he? No, we held him off.
Copy.
And we got Lawson through into DRS range. What's my favourite driver pairing so far? I mean, with my Honda team, I've gone with the same as this one. With my JB Racing team, which I just wanted to play about with the FW14 livery. That was again Porsche and Lawson. My BMW team has a different lineup. I've gone for an all-German lineup there, so I've gone for Hulkenberg and Schumacher. And I'm looking at signing the 2 German Red Bull proteges to be the affiliates for the team.
Just do your best. Come on.
So they're the only 2 driver lineups I've gone with so far. And I've only done 1 race with the BMW team so far. I did do Jeddah, but then forgot to save it and lost it. So I've got to redo Jeddah right from the beginning of the weekend again. Right, see if I can get past Lawson. Not Lawson, Sargent. Yuki's worth a go. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to redo the Honda team at some point and go with Tsunoda as one of the 2 drivers, and then have like Iwasa as the affiliate. This is the only save that I'm serious about at the moment. The other ones I'm just, designing teams and experimenting for a couple of races just to see how the cars look in different conditions, different lights. So nighttime and daytime. Porsche has closed up to Joe. Not quite in DRS range at the moment, but we have pulled away from Logan, which is encouraging.
So let's try to do
Having a sneaky look at unlapping myself here from Stroll. There we go. And let's see if I can get past Sargent before I get blue flagged again. And Porsche's through. So pushing like this, all of a sudden I found some pace. Only problem is this is not sustainable pace. Valtteri is boxed already and is still ahead of us by 10 seconds. He's going to the end now on those hard tyres. So we are effectively 30 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas at the moment. Let's see. Sargent's going to the end. Magnussen and Gasly are going to the end. Zhou is the only driver in our immediate group that has yet to stop.
Copy, copy.
And there he goes. Speak of the devil.
Copy.
And now I get blue flagged again because I run out of battery.
Copy that.
Oh no, Magnussen's going to try and get through. Oof, that was close.
Copy that.
That is actually slower.
I can do it. Copy.
Yuki's your number one driver for Nissan. Yeah, that makes sense. Japanese driver in a Japanese team. As I was saying earlier on, I did try to create the Mitsubishi logo, but the when you start rotating or changing the size of some of the elements, it becomes very difficult to get things to line up properly. I could just about get the three diamonds in the right position, and then I tried to write Mitsubishi underneath, and despite the letters all being the same size and the same font, none of them stayed level with each other. It was appalling. As Sargent goes through, gets to sneak through behind Oscar Piastri there. Somewhat annoyingly, which has hurt my confidence yet again. And now I'm out of DRS range. Can I get back in? Don't think I can. I can always defend.
Okay,
It's
copy.
going to hurt my pace a little bit.
Copy.
But by immediately coming out, I've just been overtaken.
copy.
So probably should have waited. I've held him off for now. Just going to have another look. Go an extra lap.
Copy box. Copy, Max.
I can't keep pace with Sargent. That whole little group in front of us. Well, I say that little group. It's basically Sargent and a couple of cars that have lapped us. Can't keep pace. They're too quick, and he's got fresh tyres, and he's able to stay with them. Yeah, we're not going to get anything out of this Grand Prix, I don't think. Not unless we get a very lucky safety car popping up in the next lap or so. Or some retirements. And that's potentially helpful.
Deployment.
Ocken's ERS fault has escalated. Oh, excuse me.
Copy. Box.
All right, in comes Lawson. This is for his final set of tyres, going on to mediums. .9. That's our slowest stop so far. Porsche coming in at the end of the lap. And I am 7 seconds behind Gasly, with cars coming through to lap me. That's Alonso and then the two Mercedes. And Ocon is in. And now so is Teo. So a set of softs going on. Six, not bad. Is this science coming up to lap me a second time? It is. And that is almost all the fuel I needed to save.
Yeah, copy that. Copy. Okay, copy.
Right, no immediate pressure on Porsche. Tucked in behind Sonoda there. Max sets a new flying lap, a 1:13.4.
Okay, copy.
Temperature's looking good for me.
Copy.
Ooh, yellow flag.
Right then,
Lock
you can
up
take
for
a
Albon.
look now. Now
I was
let's
hoping
take
it
a
would be a
look
big
here at
collision.
turn 10. Struggling with the car. They took a gamble and it was just too late.
But unfortunately, our luck is not that good tonight. Let's see. There's the car in front. Okay. Push the pace.
Copy.
Let's turn off the battle assist. Closing in on Joe and Gasly. And then there's a bit of a gap to Ocon.
Copy.
I wonder if we are going to see another stop for anyone. We might see another stop for Albon.
Do your best.
No, speak of the devil. There he goes, straight into the pits. Oh wow, hard tyres. That is a surprise. Still not quite close enough. I'm about to get lapped again. God damn
Okay, we
it.
need to push a bit more.
If I can at least get one car into 18th. And by one car I mean Porsche. Then at least I can make some money tonight. If I can get past Gasly and pull away from him, I think I could probably hunt down Ocon, because his pace is hurting at the moment because of the ERS deployment. I've got some DRS. It's Friday today, isn't it? So yeah, this is our final stream of the week. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. Oh, come on, before the blue flags.
Still on there, you don't wait to go. Good job, mate.
And we've got a yellow flag.
Copy.
Signed into the pits. Gasly's hit someone or something.
Carry track. Potential debris.
Oh yeah, he's just dropped it into the barrier, look.
I got some. Oh my.
So, not a good weekend for Alpine. Car behind has DRS but does not have the pace to catch us while we're pushing the softs. That's enough pushing for now.
Don't go crazy on the rears.
Copy.
One place away from getting one of my cars into 18th. Gap is under 6 seconds and it's coming down. That's Norris closing in to lap me for a second time. I'm so far behind anyone else that, yeah, I don't think we're going to be improving much.
We can recover it, okay?
So, all on Teo. Keep getting blue flagged again.
Copy.
Yeah, no worries.
Really don't want to come out of this weekend with nothing.
Get me now.
Copy, copy. Copy.
Finally some clear air for Lawson.
Save fuel.
Copy. Copy. Copy.
Bit of a gap before Piastri closes up, so no immediate risk of Getting blue flags.
Copy.
We're up to 19th, and we are 4.5 seconds away from Esteban Ocon now. So I can get 18th. That is within my my grasp, but only with one car. The other one is way too far behind to do anything. The pace 1:17.6. Yeah, it's just not really quick enough to do much of anything, unfortunately. Oh, hello. Getting back past George. That was probably not a very smart decision there from Teo. Because I'm going to get blue flagged by George again in a minute or so.
Copy.
The gap now just over 2 seconds. There is Esteban. And here comes the inevitable. There we go. Pulled over in a really bad spot, and now Lewis is going to jump me as well. And all that ground we made up. Oh my God, look at all these cars coming through.
Copy.
God damn it.
Remember, we need to
Look how much time we've just lost.
Copy.
Lost about 7 seconds there. 6.5, 7 seconds. I mean, it won't be too long until Ocon loses that time as well, but it's so annoying. Magnussen into the pits, getting off those hard tyres. How long has he been on them? Not that long. It's not an amazing stop. A little bit of a delay.
Now down to the pits. There's been a hold-up. Now talk us through this one, Karun.
So the Haas pit crew are all ready? Hang on,
Problem
what's
with the
happening
front right.
here? They can't get the tyre on.
But that's new soft tyres, so Magnussen's going to be very quick. Too quick for us. He comes out right in front of us as well. Starting to drift. Come on, 10 laps to go. So both Mercedes are through on Ocon.
Come on.
Who's still left to get through? Ricardo and Alonso. And then it's down to me and Magnussen, and we just lost the DRS to Magnussen. Bugger. I was hoping to ride him through. And the second I look away from the split times to check position on the grid, it all goes horribly wrong for us. Kind of fault for Piastri. Not really going to do a lot. The front three, well, I say the front three, Verstappen's broken off and is comfortably ahead. Sainz and Norris squabbling over second, and then there's a big gap back to Piastri of nearly half a minute.
Stay focused.
Right, we've reached the back of Magnussen and Ocon. Magnussen will go through.
Copy.
Eventually. He's probably get him here in the braking. Oh no. Ocon managed to shut that door. I just need one of them. I don't need both. Be nice to get both, but I don't need them both.
See what you can do, mate.
Got the tyres and the pace on Ocon. I'm not worried about that. Would be nice to get an extra place though.
Copy, copy.
You're looking strong out there, mate.
Copy. Copy.
There was the first tentative look.
Okay.
Five and a half laps to go.
going in.
And we
Here's
made
the
that overtake
replay.
look very easy.
Right, we're at turn 9.
Did he
That's the
go
location
too
for this
close
one.
to the wall?
The gap
Or
opens
get on the
up for
grass?
And the overtake is
Just
made.
got caught in the braking zone and then didn't get a great launch out of the corner.
Okay, copy, good.
So 18th is achieved. That is one of our target positions. Unfortunately, we are nowhere near with Lawson, but it will give us about 350 grand, just over. So we will get some money out of tonight, just half of what I was hoping we were going to get tonight. Even if I'd been, I don't know, what was it? I said 20th, didn't I? We have just got ahead of Joe. If I had been conservative, I would have had it.
Struggling a little bit with the fronts.
Let's just hammer what's left of the tyres.
Copy. Copy, copy.
See if we can't close that gap down to Ocon. See if I can get 19th. Won't make any real difference to our season. It will make me feel just a little bit better about how abysmal our performance has been tonight. We are scrapping with Magnussen.
6 laps to go.
Copy that. Copy, copy.
I still yet sneak under the place.
Copy. Copy.
Try to pick up a bit more pace.
I think I just lost that DRS. That's not good. Yeah, I lost it. Bugger.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Five laps to go.
Copy, copy.
Back in range. Just. Oh, don't get blue flagged. Well, that's the thing I need. We've got Magnussen.
Great job, mate.
Trying to take that lap back.
4 laps to go.
There we go.
Copy,
We
copy.
made it. We are through.
Copy. Copy.
Hey, Tony. There we go. Last lap now for Max, which means one more lap for our two drivers.
Copy.
Floor back, come on, let's push.
Copy.
Landing.
Copy.
Three laps to go, 3 laps.
Copy.
I'm not going to catch point with him. This is it. One straight to go.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
It is another comfortable victory for Max. Can I hang on to 17th?
Copy.
Yes, I can. Just about. I'm not going to get Ocon in the end. I'm going to run out of battery. 17th and 20th. That was a little better than I thought it was going to be, considering how slow we were in the entirety of the first stint and a good chunk of the second as well. Started to come back to us in the end, but I was overly optimistic there with Lawson.
Now, after the excitement of that race, we can now see Esteban Ocon.
Yep, and with a P19 finish, they'll need to pick themselves up after that.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
It almost feels like it doesn't need saying after a 7th win, but another stunning performance today.
Plenty of smiles for the cameras as the drivers can let off some steam here in Montreal.
7 wins from 9 races. A win for Leclerc at Monaco. A win for Norris at Imola.
Well, Karun, how do
No,
you
not
think they'll
Imola.
be feeling in the team garage at the end of
China.
that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
Wow.
That's it for this
Porsche
weekend's
celebrating
F1
like
action
he
here in
won the race
Montreal.
there.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round on the shores of the Mediterranean
How
with some
low
heated
our
competition to look forward
expectations have
to in
fallen.
Spain.
That we have to celebrate 17th like it's winning a goddamn title. Ah, dear. Confirmation of the final results will start at the bottom tonight. It's last place for Pierre Gasly. Joe in 21st. Lawson up to finish in 20th. So we do get a little bit of a gain. I should have stuck to just 20th place on the sponsors. That's my own stupid fault. Cost myself 250 grand. Ocon in 19th place with a dodgy ERS unit. Magnussen in 18th. We did manage to get past and stay ahead at the end. Porsche up 4 places to 17th. Good result for him. Then it's Sargent 16th, Hulkenberg 15th, Bottas 14th, Albon 13th. Alonso down 5 places to drop outside of the points and finish in 12th. Ricciardo in 11th, and now the top 10. Russell and Hamilton 10th and 9th, then Tsunoda and Stroll both gaining 3 places and some decent points. Stroll, the last car on the lead lap tonight. Leclerc in 6th place with Perez in 5th. Then it was Piastri in 4th. Norris taking 3rd step on the podium with Sainz in 2nd and getting the fastest lap. Max getting the win. Driver standings then look like this. It's 219 points for Max Verstappen. Another win. 7 wins from 9 races and 2 sprint wins. 8 podiums from the 9 Grand Prix. It's been a very, very dominant start to the season as far as the driver standings go. You can see he is 68 points clear of Lando Norris right now. Sainz has closed the gap to Norris just a little bit. It's an 8-point gap now. Leclerc in 4th misses out on some good points. Only picks up 8 tonight. So he's now 19 behind his teammate. Oscar Piastri in 5th place is 9 points back on Charles and is 25 points clear of Checo, who, true to form in real life, is just not able to keep pace with any of the other front runners. Then Tsunoda in 7th, moving up a place with his 4 points, jumping Lewis Hamilton by virtue of a higher final finishing position. Stroll jumps above Alonso by 2 points. Moving further down the field, no position gained for Porsche, stays 17th. And Sargent has now scored a higher finish than Lawson and moves up into 18th. Constructors standings, 309 points for Red Bull, 35 points scored tonight, 27 points apiece for Ferrari and McLaren. They remain just a little way back, 42 points to Ferrari, and just a point between them and McLaren in the fight for second at the moment. And then Mercedes, a long way back in 4th, pick up 3 points tonight. Aston closed the gap by 3. They are on 48 points, 8 points behind Mercedes, and 5 points further back is RB. Still just the top 6 teams to have scored points. So it remains Haas 7th, Alpine 8th, Williams 9th, Sauber 10th, and we are last. Pit stops, did we get on the board? No, we did not. Our 2.5 second stop was not good enough. So it is big points for Norris. Aston getting some good points there as well for Stroll in his home Grand Prix. Then Mercedes gets some decent, strong points with George Russell. Williams get a car up there into 4th place, 12 points for them. Alpine and RB also scoring good points. Sauber getting both cars in there for 7 points. Red Bull, who are normally so good at pit stops, and we saw a very, very quick stop. Oh, it wasn't as quick as I thought it was. 2.48 seconds there for Sergio Perez. Just a little bit quicker than Charles Leclerc's Ferrari. Very interesting there. A lot of the usual suspects not anywhere to be seen on the pit stop leaderboard. So, what has that done to the standings? Red Bull atop, but McLaren have taken a big chunk out of them. 21 points has been taken out of the lead, and they are now just 18 points behind. So it's game on again at the top of the pit stop competition. Aston in 3rd, outscore Alpine and pull a bit of a gap. They are now 9 points clear, and Alpine themselves are 12 clear of RB in 5th. Ferrari in 6th, just 2 points for them. Williams move up a place above Sauber tonight with their 12 points, on to 56 now, 2 clear of Sauber. Mercedes also gain points, 15 for them. They jump us. We drop down into 10th place, 7 points behind them, and 11 points clear of Haas, who are in 11th and last. And there are our stops: a 2.8, a 2.68 for Teo, a 2.53 for Lawson's first stop. I thought that might be good enough for points. We were a couple of tenths away, or a couple of hundredths away from getting on the board tonight. And then a 2.9 for a second stop, not a good one at all. So, contract payouts, because I was overly optimistic with Lawson there. Only 354,000. Could have been more. Should have been more. Should have played to my initial reaction, my initial gut instinct, and just stayed with 20th or higher for Lawson there. We would have picked up an extra couple of $100,000. All right, next up is Spain. That is Monday's Grand Prix. Before we go, I did say I would show you the progress that I've made on some creating stuff. So let's save the Goodwood file. There we go. Let me show you which one can we go to? We'll have to do it like this, but I can go into team branding and do it from here. So the livery that I have for BMW, is it saved? Yes, there it is. There is the BMW livery. Sponsors need to be tweaked, but that's the livery itself. So you can see we've gone for metallic paint on the blue and the red, and you can see the fade with the lighter blue there at the bottom. I have tweaked it a little bit further on the one that I'm using on the actual save itself. There's a little bit more of the lighter blue showing at the bottom there, but that's the BMW livery, complete with the BMW badge on the nose, or it would be if we were using the BMW car. I haven't saved any other liveries yet. Let me see, did I save the suits? Yes. So there we go. That is the BMW suit. Again, you can see the fade from the light blue to the dark blue on, from ankle to armpit there, with a little stripe on the side, and then the helmets. So that's the BMW racing suit that I've come up with. And then obviously you've seen the BMW logo. There it is. I've also gone ahead and created the Alfa Romeo. It's not quite right. Hard to get gold when you have just matte colors to choose from. So I need to tweak the yellow-ish color a little bit more, get that a bit better. The blue might need to be a little bit darker as well. And instead of a snake on the right-hand side, it's a dragon. There is a snake, but it's not quite right. The dragon actually looks more accurate, even though it should be a snake. So that's why I went with that one there. That one's quite an interesting one to put together. So let me show you how I did it. Go into edit. In fact, I'm going to go into presets. I'm going to choose it first of all, and then I can go to edit. So I had to layer things in such a way. So the base layer is the gold circle around the edge. So just a giant gold circle, basically. Then I put down the white half circle, and put down the just the letter I in red, so that I could create the the St. George cross. Then plonked in the blue half with the dragon on top of that. Then there's another gold ring to create the overlap over the semicircles, so that it locks those in, and that way I can get that nice curved cross look for the Alfa Romeo logo, without them sort of sticking out at a weird bit. And then the blue goes in between, so it goes over the top but stretched out just a little bit, so that you get that very thin gold line around the inner circle, and also between the two halves of the badge in the center as well. And then it was a case of just creating the letters and positioning them about right. Again, that needs a little bit of work as well, but that's the Alfa Romeo logo. And then very, very simple one. It's Rolls-Royce. It's just 2 letter R's staggered. But if you wanted to do Rolls-Royce, that's probably the easiest logo you could possibly do. That's the one I've been using for my JB racing, just using 2 of the templates. The lion head and the full laurel wreath, and then just nothing behind them. It looks quite nice on a car, actually. A nice sort of British theme there. Obviously, you've seen the Renault E-Tech. There it is in purple and yellow. Purple and white. There's the Honda. And then this is the Bentley. And there we go. That's as close as I could get the Bentley logo. With the limited sort of options that we have. But I think it looks pretty good. So I do need to work on a livery for that. Let's go ahead and create a new livery. There you can see the Bentley logo now on the sides and on the nose of the car. So I'm thinking a dark green, I'm thinking a very dark green, I'm thinking black, and I'm thinking white as the 3 colours. Let's go with a very dark green first of all, just so I can program these in. Got to get the right hue. That's as dark as I can get it. That's not quite as dark as I was hoping for, but it'll do. So we'll save that colour. We also want black and white, and they are already, well, white is saved. Black's easy to make. So let's turn that into black. There we go. So those are the 3 colours that I'm planning to use. Let's have a look at the actual liveries themselves, see what we've got. That looks quite nice. What if I flipped the colours? The green, let's make the green white. Let's make the white green. That's not bad. And then we've got black on the rear wing. We could make that carbon fibre. That makes the entire wing carbon fibre, which I'm not a fan of. I mean, I could just remove black altogether and make that the dark green as well, like that. So we've got a solid green front wing and then a solid green rear wing. That has some potential. Let's see what we could do with this one. That looks quite nice as well. Actually, I do quite like that. Is this the Bentley? It will be a Bentley, yeah. Just trying to decide which livery to go with. I quite like that as well. I do quite like the dark green with the white sort of box on the top there. The white front wing, the white rear panel on the rear wing. Let's have a play about with the colours on this one. So I could put some black in there. Oh, that's the green, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want that. make a black. There we go. Yeah, the black engine box doesn't look right. So if I did go with that one, that would be that kind of style. Might brighten up the green a touch. Let's try. That looks quite interesting. And then you could go black or dark green on the side pod like that. I think it probably ties in a little bit better with the dark green. And of course you can reposition sponsors and stuff once you figure out what the actual basic layout's going to look like. But let's have a look at that one. Yeah, that's not going to work on this car, I don't think. Something else we could try as well. Let me just skip over the dodgy ones. See, in theory, it's all right, but it makes it very hard to actually see sponsors when you go with something like that. If we were going to go with that, we would need to switch the colours over. So that would need to be the green. That would need to be the white. I'm not seeing something that's really grabbed me just yet. I know the kind of thing I'm looking for. That's not bad. That gives you a bit of carbon fibre to offset against the green and the white. I like the white engine box. I do like the striping on the nose as well. That could be the Bentley. Yeah, that's not bad at all, is it? So that's the Stinger. That one is probably not going to be right. Yeah, again, that's going to make it very difficult to view sponsors. Alright, so with that, let's swap the colours around again. And let's just have a little play with a horizontal gradient, maybe. And, oops. Second colour I want to be black. Put a bit of a fade in. Towards the back of the car. We could look at a vertical fade. Or maybe we could go with the radial. Instead of the black, what would it look like with the green? Actually ties in quite nicely with the rest of the car that way. You could really bring that right up and then just have like a white section along the top like that, if you wanted to. And let's ease off on that to give it a bit more of a fade. That actually looks quite nice. Let's have a quick look at some of the other options that are out there as well. Again, you can have a bit of fun with the Williams FW14 base livery there. Let's go to solid. This is our standard livery that we're using a lot. We could go bit of carbon fiber undercut there over the green. And what about if the green was metallic? Not sure whether I prefer the metallic or the gloss, but that gives you some nice little white accents along the edge of the wing. A little tricky to see with some of the light reflections, but there's a little bit of white edging along the front wing there. You've got the white edging along the top of the intake, side pod intakes, and the wing mirrors. You've got the white edging on the side of the wing at the back, and then again on the rear wing, rear panel as well, and the white pinstripe that runs down the side. That's not too bad at all. So I mean, there's all sorts of different things you could go with. We've got a couple more that we can check out. Not a big fan of that. That would need some serious work to play about with that one. This could actually potentially. This is the Renault 2013 livery, the Lotus Renault. If we were to switch the colours over on this one, go with something like that, or something like that. And again, you could then start to put in some fades to just ease out the harshness of some of that white. That's the McLaren 89 McLaren livery. It's dash livery, and then the sweep livery back to the beginning. So yeah, I mean, there's quite a few interesting options out there. I think the Stinger has quite a lot of potential if it was tweaked in the right way. But yeah, there we go. That is the Bentley concept. Needs a little bit of work, but I will be playing around with that at some point, and then creating a Bentley team. Let's go back to our Goodwood F1 racing. And suits are good. Yeah, there we go. Back to normal. A very sexy looking car. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's difficult race. We will be back on Monday with round 10 as we head to Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. Until then, have a good weekend. Have some fun with the game if you're playing yourselves. And I will see you all again with more F1 Manager 24 very soon.